And meanwhile, you had all them fucking god-awful Teletoon shows, which thankfully I never got, but for every show like that that got cancelled, there was fucking 50 terrible ones that always made it to air, and often always got more than one season. Like, But Ugly Martians. Oh, God, I remember that show because I didn't know it was a show until fairly recently. Yeah, I'm gonna go back because I think I've unlocked Jailhouse Rock Glowbox, and I want to play as Jailhouse Rock Glowbox. But yeah, But Ugly Martians, which I have the game of. I've been meaning to play it for ages now. But that show makes it amuses me a little because, believe it or not, I didn't know it was a television show. Oh, the green Glowbox is gone. They've replaced him. I think he's actually meant to be Beetlejuice Glowbox. That's kind of cool, actually. I like that. But I didn't know that was a show because all I ever saw was the toys. I think it failed in America, so they tried to make it a thing in Britain. And they cared more about selling the toys than the cartoon show, because the cartoon show was fuck awful. And the toys, I don't know, but they look like they were decent quality. I mean, how hard is it really to get action figures of a character that looks like that right? It's probably not that hard. That was the other thing as well, but I'll stick to But Ugly Martians for a sec. That show, I didn't know was a cartoon show, and I saw the cartoon show, at least one of the episodes. Fuck me, it's one I'm gonna probably cover one day. Maybe back to back with the game, because I can't imagine the game's like this in quality. But, now where was I gonna go next? There was something that came to my mind when I was, that was it, merchandising. Merchandising when I was a kid was crap as well. I really got into the Sonic, cartoons when I was a kid, because I was a kid, I didn't know much better. And, my god, there was some really crap, choice for merchandise for a lot of good kids shows. Medabots was always sparse for goddamn merchandise, but that's quite a niche show, so I'll forgive that. But Sonic didn't have any. No video games had merchandise when I was a kid, unless you like specially ordered it online or found a convention. But even shops like Game and whatever else, they didn't sell it. So that's why nobody really understands why I bought so much gaming merch when it first became a thing. It's because I'd been really desperate to spend money on that shit since I was about 6. And it never existed until I was about, I'd say in my early 20s, to be honest. Late teens, early 20s was when someone was, I have an idea, let's sell merchandise for these popular games in shops. That's why I bought a lot of the Fallout 4 stuff, because like Fallout 4 was the first game where they actually had, you know, you could get like mugs and shit. You couldn't for Fallout 3. That shit just didn't exist. Unless you, obviously if you went on the internet you could probably find it somewhere. But yeah, that was just baffling. Like, why didn't they sell more shit when I was a kid? Who knows? Even Mario and stuff like that. That was the most common merchandise you could get, because I won a Mario at a fairground when I was a kid. But I was about 13 before that shit started happening, where Nintendo merchandise would appear. Maybe it was bigger in America, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know why I've gone down this nostalgic trip. I'm just trying to avoid saying the same shit from previous videos again, because I'm aware that I've probably done that multiple times now. Which I swear isn't deliberate, I'm just, it's hard to keep track of 15 hours worth of rambling, I'm afraid. I'm amazed Beetlejuice was never, like, revived and made into a modern remake. Because they have to remake everything now. And make it worse, usually. Not always. I'm not one of those people that's insistent remakes are objectively is it sorry, I'm so tired. I've been doing that all day where I forget what words are. But, yeah, I'm not one of those people that's like, ew, a remake? Like, the Disney live-action remakes, even, I'm willing to give each one a chance if I care enough to watch it, but that's a pretty big if. I don't really even have the cartoons to compare them to on most, and if I had to choose between live-action Lion King and original Lion King, I don't know. Because I didn't particularly have a fondness for either of them, which I'm sure is probably going to get me burnt at the stake, but a lot of people do. I think it's because they grew up with it. It's kind of like me with this game, where, like, I'm aware it has flaws, but I don't care. This is my childhood. It has flaws, but you know what? It made me the strange excuse of a man that I am today. But, yeah, when it comes to remakes, I don't mind them. Provided that they either do something interesting, like in the retelling, like True Grit, where I think the remake's actually better, or at least do something different enough that it's interesting. Like, I honestly always kind of respected the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake for that. I know most people prefer the original, I personally do, but there are elements that I like about the remake. There are elements that I get what they were trying to do, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not the only one. Gene Wilder said that he liked it, and several of the actors. Was it? Oh no, it was the writers of the original. Was it the right? I can't remember. It's a long ass time ago, but I was watching a thing where they were talking about it, and yeah, Gene Wilder was just like, yeah, I really like the new one, and he really respected Johnny Roll's portrayal of his character, which, I mean, Gene Wilder looks more like the character, admittedly, but at least on the book covers when I was a kid. I don't know if those book covers were, like, revised to make him look more like Gene Wilder, or if Gene Wilder was cast to look more like Willy Wonka. I couldn't tell you. Anyone who's, like, 90 could tell me, or whatever. I don't think you need to be that old, but I'm only going to accept answers from people who are 90. I've just decided. No! Oh, that isn't cricket. I haven't seen either the original or the remake of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory in years. The last one I watched was that fuck-awful Tom and Jerry one. You know what, I'm actually for putting Tom and Jerry in movies, but can we put them in movies where it's really inappropriate? That would be great. Not inappropriate like, you know, they're doing now, where they just shoehorn them into legitimate classics and they've got no reason being there. I mean, can we put them in Saw, or, I don't know, Friday the 13th? That would be funny. Just make a comedically cartoonish Friday the 13th with Tom in his little hockey mask trying to hack little mice children to pieces with a machete. I'd like that. I'd back that on Patreon. To quote that gentleman from The Terminator, I'd buy that for a nickel. Ha. I was trying to be as wrong as possible, and I just, I can't even. I've lost respect for myself, and I was running on empty to begin with for that one. I do apologise. It's hard to talk shit for long periods of time. I don't know how congressmen do it. I really don't. You can actually get, like... To filibuster a bill, you just have to talk non-stop for, like, 48 hours without a break. And I often think, like, who do I know in my life who could do that? I do know a few people, but I won't name them, who could talk for so long that a bill dies. I remember Paul Ryan read Sam I Am, not Sam I Am, fucking hell, Green Eggs and Ham to for a bill. I actually have footage of that in my video game violence video that I did about 2 years ago. I was actually quite proud of that video, even if nobody liked it. Well, it's not that nobody likes it, nobody watched it, nobody cared. Which is fine, you know, it's there for anyone who cares. I personally highly recommend it, because I think it's very clever and very funny and very subtle as well. It's totally not bashed over your head, what I'm trying to say. Alright, back to...
Welche Nakiri heb abbrechen.